Since the release of sailing, a lot of players are struggling to find good cargo delivery routes to get their levels up. And a couple of my viewers asked me to make an efficient guide about port tasks, so in this video I want to prove that you can get 140,000 sailing experience per hour, delivering goodies around the game, and the entire method evolves around one strategy. You see, a lot of players deliver supplies two ways, meaning let's say you get a task from Varlamore, you take it to Preftinus, then you take a task from Preftinus, take it to Varlamore, back and forth. But there's a much more efficient way to do this where you can simultaneously complete up to 9 delivery tasks at the same time without any waste. The only requirement for this is 76 sailing to access Lunar Isle notice port. And the way it works is simple. We only go in one direction. You see, there's a lot of delivery tasks like this. You start at Lunar Isle, you pick up the goods somewhere else, and you deliver them back to Lunar Isle. So what you want to do is firstly get a task from here that starts either at Deep Fin Point or Aldarin, and essentially drive your way upwards through every single point on the map, picking up and dropping off tasks until you reach your final destination back to Lunar Isle. Let me demonstrate how good this is with my own run. But before that, I have a massive announcement. I am once again partnering with Creator Crafted. They're officially licensed by Jagex and offer multiple different RuneScape related items like desk mats, LED signs, pins, keycaps, statues, and so much more. Currently, they have one of the biggest sales of the year going on, and they're running a site-wide discount on most of their products. But you gotta be quick. Once these items sell out, they won't return until next year. So, if you waited a long time to get something for yourself or the people close to you, this is the best time to buy some quality RuneScape merchandise, and with the holidays coming around, it's best not to wait too long. Click my link in the description or use my code KriibusFC to get additional 15% discounts on top of the already existing discounts on the website. The Black Friday sale ends on December 2nd, so don't miss out. Thank you so much to Creator Crafted. Let's continue with sailing. Like I said, we want to go in one direction, so ideally we start at Aldarin, then there's a port here in Deep Fin Point, port here in Tyrus, Varlamore, Port Roberts, Preftinus, Piscorelius, Piscatores, and finally Lunar Isle. The point is, your starting location is always around here and your ending destination is always here. And between these two spots, there are 9 different notice ports with dozens of tasks. So you keep moving in one direction, constantly picking up and dropping off items, and this gives you most amount of sailing experience with least amount of downtime. Let's start from the beginning. I have a 12-minute timer, which is more than enough to do a full trip, and that gives me close to 30,000 sailing experience. So if you look at the task list, you can see what I meant before. For example, Port Roberts, start at Lunar Isle, pick up Port Roberts, deliver Lunar Isle. Aldarin, start at Lunar Isle, pick up Aldarin, deliver Lunar Isle. And Deep Fin Point, exactly the same thing again. So we accept all 3 tasks. This is exactly what we're looking for. And your first requirement, you need to have your player-owned house set up at Aldarin. Or if you're a mega gamer, you can use a construction cape. This is ideally always our starting point. But you won't have this task available every single time, and I'll explain later on how to get around this. Since I only picked up 3 tasks at Lunar Isle and I have 4 available, that means I should immediately fill out the final task as well to get the maximum experience. And since we're going in one direction, there's going to be many ports on my way back. So I see a task from Aldarin to Preftinus, which honestly that's perfect, and I now have 4 tasks all accepted going one way. Second requirement, have teleport focus facility on your boat and runes to cast boat to me spell. Pick up your cargo from here. You want to make sure you have crewmates whose tech handiness is at least level 3. When a crewmate has level 1 or 2, it can only carry 1 crate at a time, but level 3 and 4 tech handiness allows your crewmate to carry 2 crates at a time, meaning you can do most cargo loading with one go and don't have to run back and forth. At higher levels you unlock more crewmates, and this also significantly increases your experience. The 3 best crewmates for this are Cabin Boy Jenkins, Jobless Jim, and Captain Syed, who should also be your driver because you want hands-free all the time to carry those crates. The directional lines you see over here come from Port Task RuneLight plugin. I highly recommend getting it before you start. It helps you not miss out on any supplies and make sure everything is delivered correctly. We know that Deep Fin Point is our next destination because we took a task at the beginning. Since it's the closest one to our route, let's go pick up cargo from there first. The tasks you get are always going to be randomized. There's no guarantee to get the best ones every single time. But the point of this method is to just go through every port on your way to Lunar Isle and make sure you always have 4 delivery tasks going on. Once we make our way to Deep Fin Point where we can pick up our cargo again, if I didn't find any good tasks in Aldarin few minutes ago, I would have checked the notice port here in this port to make sure I have my entire task list filled out. Luckily, I did get a task at Aldarin to Preftinus, so that's where we're going next. While moving into Prifddinas, I can already take out required supplies for delivering and hold it in my hand so it makes finishing the task much faster once I get back on land. I get to Prifddinas, I disembark, I complete my task, and since I now have 3 out of the 4 active tasks again, I immediately click notice board and look for another one on my way to final destination. Currently the best one for me was Prif to Lunar Isle, which gives me another 2000 experience. I pick up the cargo and now I have all 4 tasks going back to Lunar Isle. I just have to go pick up cargo from Port Roberts. Since that location is right next to Prifddinas, I go pick up my last cargo before I head back to drop everything off, and this is where it's all starting to come together. Like I said, since you have 9 different ports between Aldarin and Lunar Isle, you will always 100% have 4 tasks available, and if you're 84 sailing, you can even do this with 5 tasks, and that's more experience per hour. You can see all the directions from the plugin beautifully lining up, so let's get back to our final point of location. And if I check my cargo box, you can see the entire mother load of supplies, which is going to give me about 25,000 sailing experience. So let's get all of these delivered back to Lunar Isle and start unloading the crates. Now, this is the most annoying part of this entire method. I dislike the little blacked out cutscenes, especially if I have to deliver 50 crates. But after everything is said and done, I finally complete this run. 12 minutes gave me close to 27,000 sailing experience, which comes to 137,000 experience per hour. Now, why is this good? Well, number one, if you want a more chill method than doing Prifddinas Barracuda trials, this has close to similar experience rates, but you can never fail. Plus, like I said, it's a lot more chill. Most of your time is just going in one direction on the sea. There were occasions where I don't interact with anything for 30 seconds. Secondly, you also get a tiny bit of money per hour. It's 1 GP per 1 sailing experience. So if you get 140,000 experience, you also get 140,000 GP. Which, that does add up over time to millions, especially if you're going for 99 sailing. And finally, with this activity, you also get all the random events like the clams, blue turtles, and much more. And that is just a small extra benefit. But what happens if you don't get the Aldarin start at Lunar Isle? That's okay. In this example, I only got the deep fin point delivery task, which is 1 out of the 4 available to me. I accept the task and use my Sailor's Amulet to teleport to Deep Fin Point and start the same cycle again. I know my ending destination is Lunar Isle and there's 7 different ports between that, so I'm gonna pick one that goes to Port Tyrus, I'm gonna pick one that goes to Port Piscarelius, and I'm gonna pick one that goes to Varlamore. All ports that are on my way back to final location. In this case, first location, Port Tyrus, so I deliver the cargo from Deep Fin Point, click the notice board, and immediately take another task again, this time Port Tyrus to Lunar Isle. Like I said before, you start at either Deep Fin Point or Aldarin and work your way through all these ports and end at Lunar Isle. Then see what tasks you have available and repeat the cycle again. It's not always going to be 140,000 experience per hour, but it is one of the most efficient ways to do deliveries with sailing and the method I will be using to get 99. If you have any questions, please let me know down below, and also go check out Creator Crafted for awesome RuneScape merchandise, and I'll see you in a few days with another sailing video. Bye!